Well, hi, Saddleback family. My name is Johnny. I am the pastor of Celebrate Recovery, and I have a very quick word for you today for today's devotional. I don't know about you, but as I look around and watch the news or hear from my kids' schools or just pretty much have a conversation with anyone, I am filled with things to worry about. I know that many of us are getting tired of hearing this phrase that we are living in unprecedented times, but it's a true statement. And as a result, there are nights where I will lay in bed and my anxiety begins to spin out of control. I start to worry about little things. I start to worry about big things. I worry about how long COVID will be around. I worry about what my kids are going to experience as they go back to school and what their lives will look like as teenagers who have grown up during this time. I begin to worry about so many things, and I'm even now starting to worry that I'm giving you a new list of things to worry about. And so I want to read to you from Philippians, one of my favorite verses of the Bible. It's from chapter 4, and it's verse 4. It says this: "Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." Then listen to this. It says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God." I love this verse because it gives us the antidote for worrying. It gives us the antidote for anxiety. And if you're somebody who, like me, who is pretty good at worrying, this is a great verse to write down, maybe put in a couple different places, maybe even make it the wallpaper of your phone or computer so you can see it everywhere you go. Remember that we're not supposed to worry about anything, but here's one of the things I love most about this verse. It doesn't just stop there. It doesn't just stop and say, don't worry. It says, don't worry about anything, but instead, in every situation, by prayer and petition, present your requests to God. That's a mouthful. But it tells us no matter what is going on in our lives, instead of worrying, to turn that worry into prayer. Because really, worrying is, in a sense, praying to ourselves. When I worry, I'll say things like, "Johnny, how are you going to handle it? Johnny, how are you going to get out of this one? Johnny, what are you going to do next?" And in a similar way, when I remember to stop worrying and begin praying, I ask those questions of God. God, what's going to happen? God, how are you going to handle this? God, what's going to happen next? And instead of praying to myself with my limited human power, I turn to God, the God who created heaven and earth, and I ask him for his power. And God's power is so much greater than ours. If you don't believe me, go back to the very beginning of the Bible and read Genesis and the creation account. As God spoke the word into existence, he said, "Let there be light," and there was light. He said, "Let there be day and night," and there was day and night. He said, "Mountain and water," and all of those things. Now, I challenge you to do the same thing. I've tried this before. Let's do this together. I'm going to try to create something with my words. Ready? Sandwich. Didn't work, did it? See, our power is limited and God's power is unlimited. Our power is finite. God's power is infinite. And so I want to encourage you, as I'm encouraging myself right now, that when you begin to worry, to turn that worry into prayer, to turn that worry into a petition to God. And what happens if we do? Well, verse 7 tells us this: "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." When we turn our worry into prayer, when we go to God and we say, "God, these are the things that are causing me anxiety. These are the things I'm worrying about." When we go to him with those things, instead of talking to ourselves about them and keeping ourselves from sleeping and all of those things that worry and anxiety does in our lives, we find peace. We find peace that transcends all understanding. The news hasn't changed. The numbers haven't gone down, things haven't opened up, and yet you and I will have peace that transcends understanding as we go to God in our worries. And by the way, this isn't limited to now. This is something that we can practice our entire lives. That as we begin to worry about things, as you begin to worry about things, I want to encourage you to turn that worry into prayer, to go to God with those and ask him for his help and ask him for his peace, because the Bible promises that he'll give it to us. Guys, thank you so much, and I hope that you enjoy today's devotional.